Eva with Glam Enough, and I'm in the process of decluttering my makeup collection. So I want to share with you what I'm getting rid of and tell you why, and give you my best tips for determining what stays and what goes. Even if you don't have a huge collection, mine certainly is not huge, I think it's a good idea to go through your makeup collection regularly and get rid of anything that's expired or has gone bad, like the texture's changed or it starts to smell rancid, or even if a product is just something you don't care for anymore. Maybe you don't like the color or the texture or the formula. Get rid of it from your collection, and that makes it easier for you to find and use the products that you really do love and want to be using. So let's talk mascara. As you're probably aware, beauty guidelines dictate that you should replace your mascara every 3 months. I find it really difficult to remember how long I've been using mascara and when I opened it. So what I like to do is open a mascara every quarter. So like January 1, April 1. That way, I just know where I am in the month and I say, okay, it's January 1, well then I'm going to purge all my open mascaras and start a new one. So I only really need to think about mascara 4 times a year, and that has been working for me for the past few years. If that doesn't sound fun for you, Sharpies. I love these metallic Sharpies. You can just mark right on the mascara tube what the expiration date is. Not the date you opened it, but 3 months later when you want to be throwing it away. Then you just have to look at the tube and you know exactly whether or not you should be using it. Mascara is one of the makeup expiration date rules that you really want to follow. Every time you pull the wand out of the tube, you are potentially introducing bacteria into the tube, which could lead to an eye infection, which is super gross and something you do not want. Okay, let's talk expiration dates more. So this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in Dollface, and they are nice enough to put the expiration date right on the packaging. So as you see, this is what looks like an open container, and it says 12M. That means that this product expires in 12 months. As you can see, mine is falling apart. So if you have a lot of blushes and you don't use them regularly, it might be hard to know when to get rid of it. Again, I would do the Sharpie trick with blushes as well. For me, I use very few blushes at a time, so mine tend to get this hard film on them. I'm gonna show you up close, but it's a little bit gross. So after a while of using them, I think just from face oil or foundations, that gets transferred on the blush brush and then on the product, and it makes them harder and it makes them less pigmented. So when I notice that they have kind of hardened on top and I'm not getting the color payoff, that's when I think it's time to go. So now with something like this, when I know I'm about to get rid of a product, I take a few seconds to think about what I liked about it and what I didn't. I like having, you know, a pink flush on my cheeks. I think it works with my complexion. However, this is a blue-based pink. It's a little bit bright. It just doesn't go with the type of makeup looks that I am interested in right now. So I looked at a lot of YouTube videos. I went to Temptalia, I looked on Ulta, I went to Sephora and did a bunch of swatching. And Dollface led me to this Bare Minerals blush called The One. And as I put them up next to each other, you can see that the Bare Mineral blush is a little bit warmer. It's more of a peachy pink, and it's much more in line with the type of blush that I want to be wearing right now. So if you have a hard time getting rid of all beauty products, which I do sometimes, just think about the fact that there might be something out there that you like even better. Let's move on to lip gloss, because like mascara, this is something where you have a wand going in and out of a tube and it feels like a bit of a petri dish. So this is where you do want to follow the guidelines. That said, I have had this buxom lip gloss for way too long, so long that all of the stickers and everything have fallen off of it. I don't know what line this is from. I don't know the name of the color, so I have not been able to repurchase. This product led me to another 100% pure product. This is their lip caramel in the color truffle, and as you can see, it's very, very similar to the buxom shade. Truffle is a little bit warmer, a little bit more toward brown, where this is more plummy. I do prefer the plummy, but this has been very nice. And I will say that the formula is less sticky. The buxom is a little bit sticky and tacky. If I had longer hair, my hair would stick to it. The lip caramel from 100% pure is a little bit more creamy, a little bit less like shiny, glossy, and I enjoy that. But again, the color was not exactly right, so I kept looking. This led me to the Bare Minerals Matte Liquid Lipsticks, and they have several colors that are similar to the Buxom color I love. I currently have Flawless, Juju, and Swank. And none of them are exact, but they're all very close. I like these on their own. I like to mix and match them to get the shade a little bit lighter, a little bit darker. And I really love this formula. It's a matte liquid lipstick. It's not drying to my lips. It doesn't make my lips look dry or feel dry, but I do really love the creamy texture. I like that they're somewhat transfer proof. Next up, let's talk eyeshadow. So I wasn't really aware that eyeshadow would go bad, but what I have found with some of my older MAC shadows, which I love, are that they become less pigmented. Look at the shade Foley, a beautiful kind of reddish brown. I put a good amount here on my hand, on my finger. Oh look, I have an old swatch of it. It's just not that pigmented, which is a bummer because I always reach for colors like this because I love burgundy eyeshadow shades, but then I start using it, it's not pigmented, and I just stick it back in the drawer. So it's not doing me or anybody else any good. So I think I'm going to get rid of some of my older burgundy MAC shadows that are no longer pigmented, and I'm going to buy the MAC times 9. Have you seen those? It's a slightly larger palette with 9 shades, smaller. Each one is smaller than your typical matte eyeshadow. But they're a beautifully curated palette, and I've been hesitating buying them because I already own some of the shades, but I don't use the shades that I already own because they're no longer pigmented. So I think I'm going to get rid of my old shades that no longer work for me and buy the MAC times 9. Yay! Okay, finally, let's talk brushes. So I didn't know that brushes had an expiration date, and I don't know if there is a general guideline. It's probably more of a case-by-case basis. I am a big fan of these Real Techniques brushes. This is their Expert Face Brush. Love this for buffing in liquid foundation. I've been using Real Techniques face brushes for years because they don't shed, unlike a lot of more expensive, fancy brushes. This one, however, is starting to shed. So I take that as a sign that it is probably reaching the end of its life. And I took advantage of an Ulta 20% off sale to buy a new one. With products like this that I know I'm going to repurchase, I add them to my Ulta and Sephora wish list so that when I get 20% off, I can just go down the list and buy the products I need. So those are my tips. Good luck to you if you are also decluttering your makeup collection. I would love to hear your tips in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.